Alright everybody, I have this new tool I'm working on, it's theme UI tool. It should allow you to create or themes for buttons and controls, especially the ones that come by default in Unity. The way it works, so I have here a couple of menus that allow you to create button, drop down. They all use TextMesh Pro as much as possible. So I'm just gonna show here how to work with a button. So I have a button that recreates kind of like what a regular button would look for Unity, but you can see that this is a new component here. There's not a whole lot of profiles right now, but we're gonna create one. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create a profile. So I'm gonna go here to this fantasy UI, which actually it's free. Actually, I'm not sure if it's free. But if it is, and if you have it, you can use it. If you have another one, you can use that. So I'm gonna go inside of this. I'm gonna create a folder. I'm gonna call it theme UI profiles. The first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna create a little theme. So by the way, the profiles are created by the create theme UI and then just a button profile. I'm gonna call it button OK. I'm going to go to the button itself and I'm going to click on that as that's the profile. By default, they kind of look exactly like they do for regular Unity. So I'm going to create a font out of a regular font that came on this package, if I can find it, of course. TextMesh Pro, font asset. All right, so I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to put it on this themes profile. I'm going to create a fonts folder. I'm going to put it there. Then I'm going to go to that profile. I'm just going to go to properties here so I can drag and drop things onto it. And then you can see the button immediately changed to use that font. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the sprite so that it's more similar to like a regular button. So I want to use this gray button here. Just drag and drop and it changes the profile. I'm going to make the button slightly smaller, so just maybe about 80 by 40, like smaller but a little bit thick, a little bit thicker. The font just about 20, so it shows that. It won't change the text in it, as that's something that can be done or should be done depending on what the function of the button is. But the coloring of the button is gonna be there, the color multiplier as needed, and the fade duration. The duration, that's all part of the color block. So you can add shadow in case that the button doesn't have already some shadow with the information or with the data that you have, or you can just remove the shadow, not bother, not worry about it. You can change the color of the text if you so wish. I kind of like the default color, so I'm gonna leave it like that. That's for button, and if I have different buttons in different places, I could just simply let me just here put in the test area because that's I can just simply select the profile and it automatically selects that. So it'll do something very similar to what so what prefabs would do. But because it doesn't come from a prefab, if I modify this, it won't automatically change everything about this button. It'll just change all of those look attributes. The text is going to remain the same. And it's not going to constantly tell me, hey, you want to apply this override or something. There's also more items that you can add there. So I have drop down, scroll bar, drop down, scroll bar, and scroll view. Drop down, scroll view, and I believe those are the most compound ones. So I can show you what I mean by compound. So the drop down, if I hit play here for a second, a drop down is not just this part here. It also has a profile which gives you this, and if you had more options that this can display, there you'll have a scroll bar as well. And because of that, so I'm going to apply a theme for that. So I'm just going to create a theme for the drop down. So I'm going to call it drop options. Sure, why not? But then on top of that, because this one is going to ask me for a template profile or what is called scroll rect profile really, and then a template item profile. I'm going to create two more profiles. So I'm going to create a um, scroll rect profile, which is something that this uses. So just to have this in the same, I'm going to call it scroll rect, and I'm just going to call it options, and then the toggle profile. We're not yet done. Um, Toggle profile, so I'm just gonna call it toggle profile options, and I'm gonna assign that to this, but we're not really assigning those to the button just yet. I'll play around with it first. On that, I am going to also create, because the toggle doesn't require anything else, but the scroll does require some scroll bar profiles. So I don't really need the horizontal one, I just need the vertical one. So I'm going to create a vertical profile here. The vertical profile scroll bar, there we go. So I'm just going to call it um, uh, scroll bar V for vertical options. This is actually in this direction in horizontal, so I'm just gonna call this 20. I'm gonna call this 0 because this is gonna be automatically assigned by the actual scrolling. So I'm gonna go to the scroll, the vertical profile. I'm just gonna select to be that one, and then just to show that this is going to apply, I'll have the actually I'm gonna keep the background the way it is. I'm just gonna assign some of the themes that I have here. So PNG. Oh, I should probably, you know what? I'm gonna split this so it's easier to see that. Another project. Just put it here. Go to the Fantasy UI theme profiles. Lock it there. And I'm just gonna lock this one as well so it doesn't go out of it. So I'm gonna go first to the, let's do the toggle. So for the toggle, I technically don't need a background, but I'm just gonna set, this is my background just for fun. I'm gonna set the same font that I had for the other thing, and I'm gonna leave everything else like that. Let's go to the scroll rec profile. Oh, I thought I had locked this in there. PNG. So, oh, there's icons too. Interesting. All right, sorry, I'm deviating here too much. I'm gonna keep the mask, the scroll bar for vertical, I'm gonna keep it with that. I don't think I need to change too much in here. Maybe the background I can set something like this kind of papery type of profile here. This is the scroll bar itself. So for the button style, I'm just gonna choose this blue fill here. Oh, and I forgot to do bottom to top here. That should be okay. Then for the drop options, and you can still see anything here because I haven't selected any profiles just yet. And then for the drop bar itself, I want to make it look kind of like the button does. I'm going to change the font as well here. And now if I go over to the theme drop down and I just select that drop down, it's going to change that. If I hit play, well, it's going to look really, really ugly. But it works. Oh, I remember what I did wrong there. I forgot that on the toggle options, I actually don't want this. I want this to be no sprite. And also this is supposed to be 0 and this is supposed to be height. Actually, I can assign that, or I can set something different like maybe this is this one. Let's give it a try. See what happens with it. So the options are there. It's just kind of wide. You can see that, and that's because I still need to play around with some of the scroll bar settings because this is 200 by 200. So what if I set it to like 0 and 20. Some of these it's okay to be 0. 0 means that it's going to be 100% controlled by the actual UI. So let's take a look here. Sometimes you do have to assign and unassign, and it'll just cascade everything down. Oh, look at that. It works a little bit better. So still not quite as pretty as it could be. So let's go to the profile here for this scroll bar. No, this direct. Let's do it 40 instead of a little bit better. So now you can see the options there. And you can see that the scroll bar even works and everything. And it's got the color that I assign it. It just doesn't have a background for it. Let's do, what, 80? 80 is a little bit better, not too much. Let's do 70 or 60. And then you can see there. It works, essentially. So obviously you can play around with more themes. You can have different drop downs with different colors for different things, or the buttons themselves. You can actually have different profile for buttons for different functions, like an OK button, cancel button. So for example, if I go here and just say, you know what, I want my cancel button to be cancel, if I know how to spell it. Let's say that I want my cancel button to be red, or actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's delete that. Let's clone this, because you can do that. And let's call this cancel. And this one I'm just gonna assign the red thing. And you can actually see that this works on runtime. Works on runtime while in the editor, by the way. You can't just have it. The scripts are meant to automatically get deleted. This portion is automatically deleted when you compile the game. So it's not supposed to be there. Same for anything that cascades down to this. So the template is going to lose the profile data for it too. Where is it here? I think it no longer have it. Let's see the theme. Yeah, so this is going to lose that. Oh, that's going to lose this. Also, the viewport has the item that's going to lose this on compilation. So yeah, it's pretty handy. You can make your own themes, save them, put them on other projects as long as you have your UI with you. Should still work. Yeah, would love to see what you guys can come up with this, and I'm gonna put it on GitHub for everybody to use. Okay, cheers everybody. Goodbye. Oh, by the way, link for GitHub will be below. If you have any suggestions, feel free to create issues as feature requests, and I'll implement them as I can. Or if you know how to modify the code and want to suggest some PRs, uh, that would be awesome. So anyway, cheers everybody. Goodbye.